Patrick, why would somebody ride a Project Cedrus Mast?
Well, first and foremost, if you have a bunch of brands, instead of having 2, 3, I think one guy we know, Surf Doc, has like 5 different brands, right? Instead of having 5 different brands of masts, you can just buy your foils and keep adding to your quiver and use the same one mast. And you know, for like $100, $120, you get an adapter for each one. And then not only are you getting just one mast, but in my opinion, you're getting the best mast. And I say that because it's stiff. And to me, stiffness is the most important part of a mast. I know a lot of guys get hung up on speed. They want to go fast. And if you're towing only, that makes a lot of sense to me. But for regular surf, for what I see out of most guys winging, you don't need that super high profile. You're not going 35 miles an hour.
Then again, the faster you go, the more critical mast flex becomes.
Right, yeah, exactly. So the Cedrus Mast is great with its stiffness. To me, it is the stiffest mast that I've ridden. In both elements of, there's like the bend, like just flexing side to side, which can be a really annoying when you're pumping and you feel your board bouncing side to side. Like if you're not straight in the middle of the board, which most of us aren't, I think a lot of us are offset stance now. So if you're bouncing side to side, that's wasted energy. That's wasted input into the board.
And throws you off balance.
Yeah, it throws you off balance. If you hit a turbulent section of the water and you feel your mast wobbling around, it sucks. Beyond just side-to-side flex, to me, what's more important is the torsional. Every mast has twist to it. So if you're like this, it's going to twist when you're turning. When you're really in a pocket and you're trying to lay down and turn, you're going to feel that load and flex. And that to me is throwing off timing. It's wasted energy. It's wasted input. Some guys talk about it like a surfboard fin where you have that flex and then it springs you out. That's not happening with the mast, because what's happening is, if your foil is like this, your foil is twisting and then snapping back. That motion is not going to create any energy for you. It's just the foil cutting through the water. So what I want is that direct feel. When I go to bottom turn, the foils come with me. When I go to snap through the top, it's going to release with me. It's going to come with me. So that torsional twist is huge. And I have yet to ride a production carbon mast, that I don't feel that twist on. There are some that are better than others. The Axis one is pretty decent. The Ono one is pretty decent. But none of them come close to the stiffness of Cedrus.
Another unique feature of this mast is the leading and trailing edge of it are rubber. So why would we want rubber? Well, when I asked Kyle originally, I thought it was for safety reasons. I mean, by all means, the trailing edge being rubber is softer on your face or some body part that could easily be cut than, say, an aluminum trailing edge by far. But what Kyle did when he designed this mast is he designed it for resiliency, for damage protection for the mast itself. And both Patrick and I have had incidents where our mast would have been demolished. I had the truck bed, my folding tonneau cover, just slammed down on my mast, and it was mutilated. I thought it was totally done, and the guy I was riding with was like, "You broke your mast." And
he shows me, he calls me, he goes, "Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna have to ask Kyle for a new mast," because he thought his thing was destroyed, and I laughed at him. First off, because of how he did it, and second, because he thought it was destroyed.
So I stuck it in the truck while I put my wetsuit on. Left it on the dashboard right in the hot sun, and the rubber just came right back to its original shape. I would say within 90% of its original shape. And right now, running my hand over this edge,
I don't even see it
anymore. I can't even tell you where it happened. So that's kind of a cool feature of this mast. If you run your mast into the rocks, if you have
a 10-0 longboard that drops in on you and shoots his board out and smashes into the trailing edge of your mast. So if it was a carbon mast, my mast would have for sure cracked. Might have just completely broke.
Or a big old chip at least.
It was like some 10-foot Volin longboard went right into my board, or right into my mast as I was riding by, and I was like, oh gosh. And so what happened for me, you can see there's a little bit of chip here in the rubber. And actually the whole thing was like probably bent over this far. just kind of like waved out, and I was pissed, and I thought mine was broken too. And so this happened before Josh's. Instead of him calling me, I called Kyle, sent him a picture, and said, "Kyle, my baby's broken. What do I do?" And he said, "Don't freak out. Just let it get hot." So I actually left it in the sun. It melted back a little bit, and then what I used was a soldering iron, and so like the rubber was kind of like was actually way worse than this. I just used
soldering iron.
Yeah, I used a soldering iron on the rubber and kind of melted the rubber, and then just brushed it back over itself to kind of melt it and get it flush. And it's not deformed in shape. It's just got this little bit of rubber missing, which I've thought about trying to fix, but also I don't care because it works. So I'm not
You don't notice it.
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
And if all else fails, we have been told that these rubber edges can be replaced. It is yet to need to be done, but they can be replaced. So it's another reason you don't have to spend another $1,000 on a mast if you damage some rubber. The only thing that will actually damage the rubber is fishing line. If you run over a fishing line, it will cut the rubber.
Which I've done up here. Oh, it's actually inside of my new collar. So luckily it was on the old collar, which was the short one, but on the taller collar, it covers it up. A fishing line caught the front of it and sliced it in. It's not damaged, and it did cut all the way through, but it hasn't started peeling or anything, but that was annoying.
The best part about the damage is it's not that they're not there. It's not that you can't still find them, but you see us flipping our mast over like, okay, where was that again? So for how traumatic the damage was to what it is now is pretty impressive.